we go. Good morning. Say good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Friday show. We are still trying to get set up
Oh, we're.
and super crooked.
Gosh.
The other way, but it'll stay.
Okay.
All right, awesome. Should probably get the other one going.
Yeah. Good morning. Welcome to the Friday
You want me to hit
show.
it?
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's not touchscreen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single
Every time.
time.
You would think I would learn, but I don't.
So we hit our YouTube too soon. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Friday show.
Good morning.
We're running late.
Welcome to the 8:02 Friday show.
Yeah, that's right. Not the 8 o'clock. The 8:02. That is right. Jenna, come on over. We'll draw.
I'm not telling if this
Okay,
is
for our giveaway, it is for how to train your dog for dummies. Honey, I'll buy you that book too.
Right?
I'll order two, one for you and one for Matt. So the
I still have
winner is
I still have several copies from the publisher for letting them use my picture.
Delana. Delana will get you sent your How to Train Your Dog for Dummies book.
You can give that to your husband.
Yep.
okay.
Both of my husbands have one. We still stayed live. Good morning, our YouTube
did.
followers. Good morning,
Okay.
good morning. All right. Friday with the 40s. What do you need?
I was just gonna move that.
I don't know. We are talking about the high fives of truly raising a confident and balanced dog. That's what we're going to tackle today to help you ensure that your dog is balanced. And what does that really mean? And what does that look like? Yeah, you want to come say goodbye? We've got tears in our eyes. Give us just a minute. Our timing is poor. Bye. I'll see you in a couple days, okay? I love you.
Yeah, so this is a goodbye for the weekend. Because Mama's heading out of town.
I love you. Be brave. You got this. Be brave.
Mikey still take care of yourself too.
Matthew just came out.
Matthew's coming to walk you to
Matthew, let's go, buddy.
Juggling momhood.
And
I know.
business ownerhood.
And business ownerhood. I am flying out today to Canada, to Calgary, for a breeder seminar. So I'm super excited. But it's always tough to leave. And with Jenna's anxiety and so many puppies in the nursery
What about
right
my
now.
anxiety?
But you'll be fine.
I have to
He
run the
loves
house
when I
now.
leave. No, he just sits and plays video games all weekend, and he doesn't have to worry about the wife yelling at him. So there you go. So he's happy. I'm gonna get the boot right out the door and move on out.
But I promise I'll unlock the door when you get home this time.
You're so kind.
Yes.
That's good. All right, are we okay?
We're
We've
good.
been fighting this morning. This is real life marriage. We've been
Fighting?
crabby.
No, you just said you wanted to set up the whole
I
show,
did
which is
not.
why we're
I
late
did
by
not
by
say
2
that.
minutes.
I'm trying to still pack. Literally when this ends, I have
Welcome
to
to
go
Calgary.
and catch my flight.
Is Raylene, are you in Calgary right now?
Yeah, how cold is it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the weather like? She's
Yeah.
trying to pack, but
I'm trying to pack. I'm trying to do everything. And you're just in my way and slowing me down, and then you get mad and you pout, and then you don't want to help.
now
and
hold on.
that has been
I
our
don't
morning.
slow anybody down.
That has been our morning this morning. So cheers to marriage.
Right? Oh, here we go.
Oh my
Oh,
God. We need a weekend away from each other.
I was gonna say, am I going now?
No, that
I'm
was
in.
not the way.
I'll go to Canada.
No. All right, we got our drawing done. This
did.
week's drawing, hashtag Badass Breeders, share this show, and we'll get you an engraved, specialized collar. This one's for a girl. I'll get you one that fits your gender. And they have these nice big buckles, which I love, and it's engraved on there, the dog's name and your phone number, or whatever you want. So a beautiful custom collar for your dog or your husband, whichever you
This one does not shock, so maybe not for husbands.
Yeah, maybe not. We need the remote vibrating collar.
The what kind of collar?
You're just yeah.
So anyway, moving along. A high of 12 today and raining.
They shut up. Someone's lying. That's not even true. It's a high of 12. Raylene, seriously, I just checked the weather. I don't think it's gonna be that cold in Calgary. I hope she's joking, because I'm not going. I will not go outside.
I think she meant 112.
Well, I don't want it at 112 either. Okay.
All
Let's
right.
get to work. We've got some important information today that truly can help our owners, because the most important thing of keeping dogs out of shelters and keeping dogs from having issues and being able to take your dog wherever you want, whatever you're doing. She's not joking. Oh,
Celsius.
Celsius. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
thank you, Raylene. But yes, you're not joking. It
we
is
don't
gonna
do
be raining
Celsius
cold.
here in the
No.
lower 48.
No, that makes me feel a little better. I was a little stressed that I didn't
Well,
check
wait,
the
what is
weather
the temperature
quickly.
then if it's 12
I
Celsius?
don't know. It's gonna be like 60 or something. It's just cold. That's all I know. I'm packing my winter clothes. It's cold. Yeah. What does
All
a
right.
balanced dog mean? And when I was making these notes last night, I kind of had a chuckle a little bit because it really could be applied to humans too. How balanced are we? So let's go through these to know, well, what does a balanced dog look like? What are we trying to achieve?
It means they're just as heavy in the front as they are in the back.
I don't think that kind of balance. How balanced is your marriage? Good.
Just as heavy in the front as it is in the back.
How balanced are the house chores?
Yeah, right? You need
Yeah.
to start picking up your end of the
Oh my
slack a little
gosh,
bit.
no. I know there has to be wives and girlfriends or whatever your living arrangement is if you live with a man or maybe a woman that's just as sloppy and it's just as unbalanced.
Are you saying all men are
How-
sloppy?
Well, no, maybe it's the wife and maybe it's the husband that does more, but generally it's the wife, like all the house and the kids and oh, I'm making you mad.
No, I'm just
calling
thinking,
them
no,
mess.
it's just how happy you must be that we have such an even split.
Oh, right, yes. I feel so bad for everybody that doesn't.
Yes, me too. What a shame.
Still drinking my breakfast, sorry. I'm running late. Okay, what does a balanced dog look like? They're well socialized. Now we'll talk about that too. Well, what does that even mean? Because I think sometimes we feel like if we just throw our dog into certain situations that, oh, well, I'm exposing and I'm socializing. But the important thing is it's not just making them do something, it's that you're guiding them and expecting and demanding the appropriate response. So just because you take your dog, let's say to the dog park, which I don't even agree with, but it's always a good example. You take your dog to the dog park to play and be exposed and socialized with dogs, but then they have a negative interaction, whether they're the ones being a bully or a brat, or another dog goes after them, and you weren't able to control that emotional response, you're actually doing more harm than good. So just because you're taking your dog out and doing things, if you're not creating the right environment and guiding and ensuring that they have the appropriate emotional response, then you're messing your dog up more. So that's really important when we talk about socializing and exposing. It's not just about throwing them into something. Same thing with puppies. So many people think, oh, well, if you just throw them in a pit of water bottles, there, I've done my exposure today. It's really important that you guide them through it, that we make sure that they're all having the correct emotional response, and if they're not, we step in and manage that so that we can teach them those important tools. Okay, so examples of a well-balanced dog, so well-socialized, psychologically stable. You're gonna see how this can so be applied to people.
Especially avoid unnecessary confrontations.
Avoid unnecessary. Some dogs are just out looking for a fight. You know, that's not a balanced dog, and it's not a balanced person.
Most wives.
Able to concentrate and focus. Some dogs were not able to have that concentration and focus. For puppies, they really should be able to do 5 minutes. And then the older, they could do longer, 15-minute really good training session, or even longer when you put them in a place and they have to stay. And they're able to have that self-control and focus. Proper dog body language. A lot of this has to do with breeding too and the way your puppy was raised initially. So we'll talk about that as well. Adapting to different environments. Can you take your dog to different environments and do they adapt nicely? Have they been practiced that and you've guided them through different things, you know, as you were raising them? Good morning, Natalie. Good morning, everybody. I know I just dove right in. Savannah, you just have a 7 days now, I think 7 days to pick up Tass. He's at Norton Dog Training, finalizing his service dog training. Savannah started all of that with an Audrey puppy. Which one? Audrey's Aussies, I believe. Her record-breaking 15? Maybe I'm wrong. She'll correct me. And Natalie's picking up little Pixie coming up, our singleton.
Right.
So a lot of these things in raising a singleton we have to be really, really aware of because she doesn't have her litter mates to help guide her appropriate emotional responses. So,
Right.
so we're really working hard to make sure she still gets that. So yes, check in with us, say good morning. I'd love to talk to you.
And
I
remember,
want to
when
talk
you
to my
do-
husband today.
Oh, ouch.
Well,
Remember,
I know.
hashtag
You
badass
made me
breeder
mad
and
today.
share that.
You made me mad
I-
today.
What?
You got really crabby, really quick, and then you
It-
just went and sat down. I'm not going to help.
No, you told me not to help.
I didn't say
You
that.
said, I got it today.
No, I didn't.
You said, I can
I
get it
said, I'll
done
get my
and I can be
stuff.
done
I'm
on
trying to pack
time.
at the same time, and I'm
Did
making
you say
a
you're
little
trying to
pi-
unpack?
Trying to pack
Oh.
at the same time, and I have my pile that I need to pack, and he starts just thinking he wants to go put stuff away, but I have it out because I need to pack it. And then you got your feelings hurt and went and sat down, and that's why we were late today, because I'm trying to do it all by myself.
So you're saying you need me?
No.
Yeah, we were late because you were trying to do it all by yourself.
Oh my God.
But
I
see-
did drive me crazy. God.
Oh, heavens. This is how you know it's a good morning show.
Balanced behaviors, no behavior problems. So just in general, you don't have behavior problems in your dog. We don't have unprovoked aggression or avoidance, that they won't bounce back from. Dogs that are aggressive with people, just behavior problems. Dogs that are easy to manage, motivate, manage. Oh, yeah, I don't know. So I'm trying to manage everything. Dogs that are easy to motivate. Husbands can be easy to motivate, generally. So dogs that are easy to motivate are generally balanced and very reliable. There's no such thing. Are you trying to be nice to me now?
Yep.
There's no such thing as 100% reliable. No dog is 100% reliable, but you can be pretty dang close that you know how your dog is going to react in a given situation. For example, I have Holly, who's a therapy dog, and even if we've never been to a place, or even when we went and did crisis response, or I did a hospice, well, it wasn't hospice, it was a long-term care facility here in Pahrump for the first time. We hadn't been there, and it was, we had never trained to this extreme of situations where there was blood on the floor and feces on, it was not well managed at all, and a lot of filth, and she hadn't necessarily been trained to that. But however, I had set her up in so many different situations that just telling her to leave it or wait or let's go, or I didn't have to worry about how reliable she would be because we had worked so much together, if that makes sense. So even going into an environment that we've never been before, I know Holly. I know what overwhelms her. I know what she needs from me as her handler. And so I'm very confident going into anything that comes our way. And she and I nail it. Boom. Because we're a badass team. We work well together. I wish
Just like
you and
you and
I
I.
did. No.
Wait,
I just
see
was
what just
saying,
happened?
Yes, I
Man.
did. Too bad we weren't.
It's like one mind here.
No, it's not. It's the exact opposite. God. If I could only communicate with you like I can communicate with my dogs, everything would be right as rain.
I know, but it's such a higher functioning level of intellect here.
Yes,
So
I know.
that's why you have a hard time communicating with me.
Clearly.
That must be it.
Yes. What you don't want from your dogs, and sometimes you have to practice this for some dogs, that they get overly stimulated, overly excited, or they have a high arousal. Certain situations will put them into that state of mind. So you can't change who they are, but then again, it's really, really, I hate when you do that. I can pull them down. You're like reaching all across.
I know.
I'm trying to make this seamless, like we don't have all these freaking notes everywhere, like I have it all memorized. And then you're like reaching across the camera, pulling papers. Oh my God, are you done now? Now they're all falling down. I can't stop.
And that's why I do it.
No, they're bending forward. This has nothing to, if you had left them, they wouldn't have been falling down. It's like London Bridge.
You gonna sing that now?
No, I'm not in the mood to sing London Bridge. If your dog just naturally, just the type of dog they are, tends to go into a high state of arousal. So maybe it's like they see a dog on a walk and woof, they go that high state of mind and they're barking and they're lunging. It's really important that you manage that and handle that correctly so that they learn some self-control and how to handle when they feel like they want to be high arousal, just like people. So you want to guide them through that so that they know how to manage that. So whatever your command is or whatever, you need to put them in a sit and a place till they can calm down. We can't always change who the dog is, but and I tell my clients that all the time. Hey, here's what you're getting. Here's the pros and the cons, and this is how you need to manage that so that you can have a balanced dog. If mismanaged, you're not going to have one. Panic without recovery. So if something startles them and they're just not able to recover from that, my shirt's all messed up. Oh my gosh, today is just, I'm out of control. I'm out of control today. Anxiousness, so many people complain about dogs that are just separation anxiety or just anxious about certain things, even like 4th of July, and they get themselves so spun up and crazy. That's not a balanced dog. They've got issues. Unprovoked aggression, whether it's with other dogs, people, resource guarding, toys, food, anything like that. We don't have a dog that's nicely balanced in their brain. A strong avoidance to something, and that can kind of go with being fearful. They will just shut down, flee or fight with something that upsets them. So if you find yourself saying, I can't do X, Y, or Z with my dog, like I can't go camping with my dog, or I can't go walk my dog, or I can't attend a social event with my dog because my dog will do X, Y, and Z, then you have a problem. We need to fix that. But I am here today for this show, and Matt too is here today.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, clearly. Happy you're here, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! To help you, give you some 5 tricks to ensure that you're raising a stable, reliable, healthy dog. The other important thing now we talked about what balanced means. The other really, really important thing is looking at a dog that's 16 weeks old. Why is 16 weeks so crucial? Because that really is where sociability outweighs their fear. So the puppy's brain is primed to be exposed to new experiences, new people. It's just critical during the first 16 weeks that we expose them to everything, expose and guide them to as many things as possible because their little brain is able to handle that, and their sociability, their developmental period, they're more social and less fearful. And so if we work them through exposure and socialization, we can really mold their behavior and their temperament and create a nicely balanced dog. So I have 8 weeks, or whatever breeder you use has 8 weeks, so ensure that they are doing everything they can to raise a balanced dog, and then you have 8 weeks. So together, we have to be a badass team to get the badass dog. So those are the 2 important, what is a balanced dog? What does that look like? And 16 weeks is super, super important. Number 1, let's just get started.
Well, real quick though,
Oh, yeah.
Laura.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Are there any books that you would recommend on training? I'm sure Jeanette can probably get back to you on actual titles. However, today,
Yeah, our head-
hashtag
Laura-
badass breeder and share this video, and you'll be entered in the drawing to win a book. Training.
No, that
Oh, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, that was last time. Shoot. Oh, you missed out on that one.
Yeah.
Training for Dummies though was last week.
Today's the engraved collar.
Engraved.
Custom engraved collar for your dog. But Laura, go over to my website, 4ekennels.com, click on puppy info, and then 40 favorites, and I have some books there. So then they can just buy them right from there. Okay.
Perfect.
Number 1, where are we at? High fives. These are 5 important things you need to do to raise a balanced dog. Good health. I think we forget about this. They needs to come from good breeding. Number 1, the temperament of the parents, the health of the parents, the way the puppies were raised. We really work on, even during pregnancy, low stress, massages, everything from choosing the parents to the care and nutrition during pregnancy, to making sure we have people there to assist in delivery so we never have puppies that are in the sack too long or moms forget about them and we could deal with issues. Then the way we raise our puppies gently through curriculum, guiding them through these important developmental benchmarks, paying attention to each individual puppy, what their needs are, working them through the curriculum. So puppies that are a little more sensitive and get overwhelmed easily, we will work that puppy differently than our more assertive, confident puppies. So That is so, so important, and it means so much to me that many of you know I've started a breeder mentorship program where I am training other breeders to do just this. So good breeding is super important. Vet care, making sure that they don't have puppy parasites and that they are healthy and they are vaccinated and all those things, that your vet is working with them to ensure good health and proper nutrition, high quality dog food, supplements if they need it. Generally, if you're feeding a high quality dog food, you don't need a lot of supplements. Number 2. Go ahead, honey.
Make sure your puppy knows that the world is safe, that people are kind, and that other dogs are friendly.
Yeah, and it seems so trivial, but those first 16 weeks, you really want to make sure that every interaction they have, it's so important that you and me or whatever breeder you choose has made sure that every person that dog has come into contact with, especially in the first 16 weeks, they know that people are kind. They never had a negative experience with the person. We want them to know that the world is safe, so nothing has happened to them that would lead them to believe that the world is unsafe. We want to really build this foundation of confidence in a balanced dog. And thirdly, that every dog your puppy has come into contact with has been friendly, so that they don't have weird fear issues or anxious issues about the world, about people, about dogs. That is so, so important. So, really think twice before you introduce your puppy to another dog. Really make sure you know that that dog is a good, neutral, balanced dog, and your puppy doesn't get attacked or something happen, because then we have to fix that. Number 3, my paper. Oh, no. There we go. Our paper's falling down. Go ahead, honey. Number 3.
Crate train.
Are you still mad at me?
Why would I
You're
be
like
mad at
crabby. You're crabby again.
you? So, number 3, crate train your dog. And I'm sure you'll go over the gist of that, but puppies are den dwellers. So, crate train your dog. That gives them a safe place to be, a place where they're comfortable.
Yep. Make it positive. It really helps with potty training initially as well. And what it also helps your puppy learn is to self-console, and that it's a-okay to be alone. Think about some of the neurotic behavior our dogs have because they're fearful of being alone or have separation anxiety. You have to start that right away. So I know when clients buy a dog and they say, we've taken 2 weeks off, we're not going to leave our puppy for 2 weeks. I say, oh my God, don't do that, because you are going to cause separation anxiety issues. So, do leave your dog. Be very matter of fact about it, very positive about it. But even if it's to the grocery store or, go have dinner, put your puppy in the kennel, leave them with a Kong or some kind of brain toy or time release treat dispenser, which just with food, something to occupy their mind a little bit, so it's a very positive den environment, and make sure they know you come home. Don't feel bad. Don't have, oh, I'm so sorry I got to put you in the kennel. No, just be like, here's your bed. Have a good time. I'll be back.
They will feed off of your emotions and your body language, so you can cause them to feel more stressed out and more anxious about you leaving based on how you go about leaving. So very matter of fact. It's not a big deal. You'll be right back.
Yeah, and if you're really against kennel training, or you have an older dog and they really don't need, you feel like they don't need the kennel, or they might still love their kennel, you can teach them place, have their bed, have their area, put them on place in a long downstay basically, where they have to stay there until you give them the command to release. And so you're still doing the same things. Hey, I can self-console if they need to. I need to have self-control. So if people come to the door and they're jumping and they're barking, they're out of control, teach them place. Hey, you have to go to your bed and you have to stay there no matter what's going on. If you have friends over and kids are running around and it's creating arousal in your dog, and remember, we want to guide them. So one way to do that is say you have to be in your place. You're going to learn self-controls. The sit on the dog that we do with our dogs, we've got a video on that, florykennels.com. Click on videos. I fixed all that. So when you click on video, all of them are right there. Look for the sit on the dog activity. That helps right away teach puppies. It's a really easy thing to do once a day. Teaches them some self-control no matter what's going on around them. But they can't always engage in what's going around. So it teaches them self-control and focus, which is really, really important for puppies to learn. So the place can also help. So I wanted to bring that in with the kennel or the bed place command. Number 4.
I don't know what number 4 is.
Socialization and exposure.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, yes.
That's all right. Okay.
I didn't know we were on that side.
Oh, yeah. Number 4, socializing. And, you know, I talked a little bit about this already, that it's not just about throwing your dog into a situation.
I thought we talked about that already at the beginning.
Yeah, a little bit. We talked about to create a balanced dog. So socializing and exposure are really two different things. Socializing them is with different people, different animals, different even places per se. That could really be exposure. But make sure you're teaching the proper response to other dogs. They don't need to meet all of them. In fact, being neutral and ignoring other dogs on a walk or wherever you are, at an outdoor cafe, is ideal. Right? You want them to ignore. And sometimes we think, oh, I gotta socialize. We're gonna go meet all of the dogs. So think about this. So you're on your walk and you're like, I'm socializing. So we're gonna meet every dog, and you walk your dog up to other people's dogs. You're actually rewarding a naughty behavior that then they think they have to go meet every dog, and you're creating excitement in your dog. So the best thing you can do is go on a walk and ignore other dogs. That's great socialization. There's a time and a place to give them permission to play and interact with the dog. On a walk shouldn't be one of them. Teaching to ignore barking and lunging dogs, advocating for your dog when people think they can push themselves on them. Not all dogs want to meet everybody and be handled and hugged, and having other people's emotions be pushed on them. My Hannah is that way. She could care less about other people. She trusts me to respect her enough to make sure that people aren't just coming up and petting her. Like, to her, that's very rude. Like, I don't want you to pet me. Like, super reliable dog. I don't worry about her doing anything, but I'm respecting her. Not all dogs want that. They have a very personal space, their bubble, and she trusts me as her reliable owner and handler to make sure that I don't allow people to come in and force themselves on her. We talked about self-control. We talked about, you know, aggression arousal and fear arousal, and helping your dog through that. So when they get in that state of mind, that's when you need to stop, get them in a down, get them in a stay. And you should have been working on that with the 3 Ds, the distance, duration, distraction, leading up to that, so that when you do encounter these things, your training will come in handy. Okay, so that's our socialization and exposure. You want to flip that one, honey?
I'm gonna do this because you asked me to.
Oh boy. Yay. Exposure. Accepting. Now this kind of goes against what I just said about Hannah, but Hannah's an adult dog. For puppies, we want them to accept appropriate handling and touching. That's something we do with our puppies. For the 8 weeks we have them, is we have lots of people handle them, you know, looking at their ears, opening their mouth, covering their eyes, rubbing our hand up their back. We do these puppy massages, feeling their feet. And then later on in life, if you know you're out hiking and they get a sticker in their paw, you can just pull it out. They don't have an aversion to being handled.
Again, that comes back to doing it in the right way that shows the puppies at an early age that people are kind and they're not going to mishandle the puppy.
It's not about like, hey, I need someone rough to rough up my puppy. Like, we work ours to more intense handling, but we work them very carefully through that. So it's not an issue of them feeling violated.
It increases the trust that they have in us.
Yeah, so it's just doing it. Same thing, you don't want to throw your dog into a big situation. Think about working them through that. They call it triggers. So if one little thing startles your dog, and some people think, well, I'm going to keep pushing forward. I'm just going to keep going. You're just going to have to learn.
Tie them to the vacuum theory.
Yeah, the what?
Tie them to the vacuum and leave it
yes,
running, so
yeah.
eventually they won't be scared of it anymore.
No, you don't tie them to it. You just let it sit there and run. There is a difference. You have to
because they can get away from it.
Right. You have
Right,
to
that's
use.
what I was saying.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
No, you were saying triggers and negative,
Oh, yeah.
just putting them in an environment that they can't get away from. That's
Yeah.
what I was.
Okay. All right. Yes. So just doing it properly and safely and gently, so that you're not creating more fear. But you also have to show them, hey, there's nothing to fear, and you have to do that very gently. That's a weird word. Gently.
Gently?
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. It sounds weird in my mouth. Gently. So we talk about exposing gently to many different people, as many different places, car rides. Dogs are situational. So seeing a person with dark hair is one kind of species to them, as seeing someone with blonde hair, seeing different colors of skin, different energy, different sizes. So just all of that proper exposure. It doesn't mean you have to force your dog on everybody or force your dog into someone else's energy. Just even, all four off the floor when you're packing your puppy around, just so they can see things very safely. Encourage puppies that explore and are curious, investigating their environment. So encourage that.
Yes. Well, I was going to add,
Oh, go
as
ahead.
long as the environment that they're exploring is safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't put them into an environment where something could happen. I mean, sometimes
One
we
bad
can't
experience can be a significant
set you
setback.
back. Yeah, and the good thing is, especially with, I know golden doodles, we can fix that generally, but if you continue to make it worse, then it's harder to fix. So if you start to see any behavior issues, the most important thing is just to hire a behaviorist, someone that can come in and say, okay, this is what the dog is thinking and feeling, and this is what we need to do to show them. They don't need to have this phobia or this fear. So that is really important. So at some point that dog got in their mind that something wasn't right, and now we need to fix that. So, and then allow them to experience a variety of toys, games, obstacles, stimuli. We do that with our curriculum as well, that they can explore it naturally, on their own time and be engaged in a enriching environment. Okay, where are we at?
Or
Number
let
5.
your puppies sleep.
Yeah. I think we forget to have a healthy, balanced dog. We tend to overstimulate and overexpose, and they're not getting enough sleep. Did you know that an 8-week puppy, this counts napping in at nighttime, should be sleeping, and this is at 8 weeks, and it does get less as they get a little bit older, 20 hours of sleep a day, at the most. We say average 16 to 17 for sure, but some puppies need up to 20 hours a day, which means only 4 hours of awake exposure, play, doing all of these things. Tired puppies then tend to be naughty puppies. Think of a toddler that's overtired. The tantrums, and there's no way to reason with them, and they're frustrating. Overtired, overstimulated puppies are the same way. You start seeing biting and mouthing and just out of control behavior because they are so tired that they act out. So make sure your puppies are getting a lot of sleep a day in their safe little den, a lot of quiet time. We play classical music, so our puppies are cued to when they hear the classical music, it's rest time, and they all settle. They can, chew on a bone for a while and then fall asleep. So very, very calm, quiet times for the puppy. Ensure that people are not waking them up. I say never wake a sleeping baby. Mm-hmm. So even if you have kids and the puppy's sleeping and they're picking them up right in the middle of sleeping and packing them around, you could end up creating, some problems with that too. So, all right, anything else? 2 important things you can do is teaching self-control and focus, and there's 2 videos. If you go to our website, click on videos, hand feeding and sit on the dog exercise. I think both of these are so important when bringing home a new puppy to start doing. Hand feed, sit on the dog to start laying this foundation of balance, self-control, and focus for your puppy. You're still mad at me. You're still mad at me. This has been a fun show, you guys. Fridays with the Fories when
That's right.
the Fories are fighting. So there you go,
Who's
real
fighting?
life. You're still
This isn't-
crabby with me.
It's not fighting.
Are you gonna? Okay,
you-
forgive me for getting crabby with you for moving all my stuff.
It was a
Is that-
Slim
Is
Fast.
that a good? It was my whole thing. Is so because I had a pack, I needed it. You were trying to put it all away, and you were crabby about it.
See, this
You're
is
like
why
moving
this
things
is
roughly, and you're like
this
getting
is
crabby.
this is why husbands get a bad rap. If I don't put things away, I get in trouble. But if I put them away, I get in trouble.
Oh boy.
See? Catch 22.
Good morning, Jody.
Yeah.
Good morning, Bonnie.
Popped in just in time.
Sabrina, Wendy. I know. Welcome to the Friday show with the 40s.
That's
fighting.
right. Well,
We should get
again,
some
not
balking-
fighting.
We should get some
Some
boxing
balking?
gloves.
Some balking gloves.
Boxing. We should get some. We should just.
I already have them in my Amazon cart.
Oh, good. Okay, there you go. Friday with the 40s. We're gonna box it out.
That's right.
I'm gonna lose. I am kind of fast, and you are getting old, and you're having all these heart problems and blood pressure problems.
And you wonder
He's
why.
had to take- this is prob-
Why do I have
This is-
blood pressure problems?
This is probably why we want to wring each other's neck, is because he's had to take, what did you take off, 3 days? 3 days of work?
Yeah.
3 days of work because his blood pressure was so stinking high. He's been in bed for 3 days. That's probably why we're at our wits' end with each other. I've said it before. him
Going to
working
work
swings
saves a
is
marriage.
Exactly what saves a marriage. So that's what you get when he's at home. So you're feeling a little better though.
Well, yeah,
A
it's
little
getting
bit.
there.
Yeah,
Getting
we'll
there.
see. Wait and see the
It
doctor
takes a while.
and manage some medication and try to get the blood pressure down. So being a police officer and going to work when you cannot function is not safe. So he has had to stay home in bed. Yeah.
Yeah. Rather be
I'm
at
just
work.
airing it all out, honey.
I
You
know.
love these Friday shows, don't you?
I do love these Friday shows.
All right, share the video. Let's help people ensure that we are raising balanced, confident puppies. So hashtag badass breeder share. Our drawing this week will be for a engraved custom collar for your dog. This week's winner is Delana for how to train your dog for dummies or something like that. Dog training for dummies. So Delana will get that mailed off to you.
Yep.
Anything else? Did I forget?
Nope.
Good. I got a few extra minutes to finish packing.
Right?
And then we're out of here, and then we'll get along. Next
Uh.
Friday we'll be happier because we'll have a break from each other. You're laughing because it's true. High five. The high fives of exposure and socialization. That's what we call it. So you remember 5 really, really important things to ensure that your dog is being exposed. Let's go through them. Farm dog, what are you doing in here? Let's go through them real quick. Oh, Matthew came in. Number 1, good health and good breeding. 2, the world is safe. People are kind. Dogs are friendly. 3, crate training for many different reasons. 4 was, where's my 4?
I usually have all this
Socialization,
stuff
I
in
know,
order.
it's socialization and exposure properly. Don't just shove your dog into situations. It's about guiding them to have the correct emotional response to situations. And number 5, puppies need a lot of sleep. Like me, I'm gonna sleep on the plane. Headed off to Calgary
She says that,
for a
but she's
breeder
not sleeping on the
seminar.
plane.
Probably not. I hate to fly. All right, good. Are we good?
Yes, I
Good.
think so.
Everybody good? Any
you want to
questions
address
about it? Yes.
Sean though, real quick?
Yeah, Sean, of course. What is it?
Asking about, it's not a dog park,
You're
but
not
it's a
even
dog
gonna
pool
read them to
club.
me now? Okay.
So they have a pool that's open for swim for their dogs. Do you think that's a good place to go?
So I would just say a few different things about these daycares or indoor dog parks. Most of them, a lot of them will have a behaviorist, hopefully. They will evaluate your dog before they are allowed to play. They also will double check vet records to make sure we have a clean fecal and fully vaccinated and all of that. I think that's all really, really good. So as long as they have those systems set in place that they know they've evaluated every dog that's gonna be there is neutral and balanced. There always still can be issues, but you know, generally that's, I think, a safer way to do it than definitely just not throwing them in a dog park with dogs we have no idea about. Because then that's where problems happen. So, Sean, I would just say make sure good reviews, make sure they have the behavior, so it is evaluating the dogs, and of course checking vet records for the health of your dog. So, yeah, if it gets good reviews generally, and all the dogs seem nicely balanced, everything should be fine. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. Any other questions on the high fives? Thank you, Sean. I'm gonna try to sleep on the plane.
All right, everybody, have a great weekend.
All right, thank you again. 4A Kennels is not only changing breeding from bad to badass, but we are healing hearts and changing lives through the power of a dog. Thank you for being on this journey with us. We are so excited that our Healing Hearts program is now a 501c3 nonprofit. So businesses, we've already been contacted to sponsor these dogs. We can help more people, get them free service dogs, therapy dogs, to be able to reach and help as many people as possible through the power of a dog. So we are on a mission to help other breeders, make sure dogs are being raised correctly so that we have nicely balanced, neutral, stable dogs, and then in turn help as many people through these incredible, incredible dogs. So happy Friday, everybody. Have a great weekend. We will see you next Friday. I will hopefully make sure Matt's in a better mood. Right, honey?
I'm fine.
You're fine. Cheers. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody. I remembered it.
Matthew, you want to, oh, you did, to hit that one. There we go. Thank you,
I don't know how to
YouTube
make this
followers.
one.
Happy